Iowa CNAs come together to fundraise for a family in a deadly ice accident. Nurse charged with sexual assault of a skilled nursing facility resident in a vegetative state who gave birth. And healthcare workers would be protected from violating conscience-based principles under new rule. This and more next.
You're watching LTC News with Dane Henning.
Welcome to CNA-TV Long-Term Care News. I'm Dane Henning. Today is Wednesday, January 30th, 2019. To stay in the know of long-term care news, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. A father and his 8-year-old son died, and his 2 young daughters were hospitalized on January 20th after a vehicle they were in fell through the ice on Storm Lake in northwestern Iowa. Buena Vista County Sheriff Corey Elston said that first responders were notified of the incident at 5:42 p.m. at the lake, where deputies found the 40-year-old Zachary Newland of Anthon and his 3 young children. Newland and his son were pronounced dead at Buena Vista Regional Medical Center in Storm Lake. The daughters, ages 9 and 5, were taken by air to Sioux Falls Hospital. Their mother, E. Freeman, a CNA in Iowa, started a fundraising campaign on Facebook to cover funeral expenses and medical costs for her 2 young daughters, currently suffering from severe frostbite. Currently, the campaign has raised over $16,000. NACA members Raymond Beavers and Geraldine Mackey will be bussing tables at local Pizza Ranch restaurants for tips, with all proceeds going toward the fundraising. Phoenix authorities have charged Nathan Sutherland, 36, a licensed practical nurse, with sexual assault and abuse in a case where a resident gave birth in December. The story drew national headlines after the 29-year-old victim had hacienda healthcare in a vegetative state for decades unexpectedly gave birth to a healthy baby boy in December. Police subsequently obtained a warrant forcing employees to give DNA samples. A few hours after Sutherland submitted his for testing, he was in handcuffs. Contradicting some conflicting reports from earlier this month, the victim has been in a persistent vegetative state since 1992, when she was 3 years old. The family's lawyer noted that the woman is not in a coma and is able to recognize and respond to family members in a limited way. Her condition is a result of seizures that she experienced early in her childhood. The case has led to the resignation of both the facility's longtime CEO earlier this month and the doctor who oversaw the woman's care, and compelled state legislators to begin pushing for a granny cam law in Arizona. Police are still investigating to determine whether Sutherland assaulted anyone else since joining the facility in 2011. We'll be back right after this break.
CNA-TV. Memberships have changed over the years.
This has been your long-term care news update.
I'm Lisa Sweet, co-founder of NACA.
CNA-TV.
Don't miss out on any of the great programming on CNA-TV. Subscribe today.
The federal government is reportedly in the final throes of finishing a new rule that would punish providers or state agencies that force workers to perform duties violating their personal principles. That final rule from the Health and Human Services Office of Civil Rights is now being reviewed by the White House Office of Management and Budget. It aims to protect healthcare employees who object to taking part in assisted suicide, advanced directives, vaccinations, and abortions, according to the OMB. Quote, revision of the current conscience rule is necessary to provide proper enforcement tools to address unlawful discrimination, coercion, and hostility, which has been the subject of a rising number of complaints before the OCR and in federal courts, and raised questions from congressional oversight. That's what the office wrote. Bloomberg noted Friday that the Trump administration reconfigured the OCR last year to now include the Conscious and Religious Freedom Division. The OMB is typically the final step before a final rule is published, and such reviews typically take about 3 months. However, the process has been hampered by the ongoing government shutdown. This has been your long-term care news update. Everyone have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Wednesday.